What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to another episode of Question Time. Today guys I'm doing a video log because I just don't have it in me to do a FIFA video. Feeling a little bit bored of FIFA today, mainly because I've been playing FIFA 13 a lot whilst I was out in Germany. But I will continue with the FIFA 12 videos tomorrow. But yeah, I thought I'd do a question time. I haven't done a question time for a while, and of course a lot's gone on between now and the last time I did anything like this. A lot of things happened in the community which I'm probably going to not talk about. But a lot of things have happened, like with Germany, Gamescom, FIFA 13, that I'm more than happy to talk about. So I'm going to get straight into the questions, guys. If you do want to ask me some questions, though, just feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/NepentheZ. And yeah, you can ask me questions there. So the first question is from James Hates Me. I don't think James really does hate you, but whatever. What's the longest you've ever had your hair? Pretty long. I mean, it's quite long now, but imagine if it was like up here kind of thing. I never really have it spiky when it's that long. I comb it over and look like a bit of a derp. But yeah, this is one of the longest it gets. I don't really like my hair too long. So yeah, I try and keep it short. I have to get it cut like every 2 or 3 weeks, which is quite annoying. Arnie, I think that's how your name. Does every question need to be ended with a question mark? Well, yes. Otherwise, it's not a question. And in a fit of humour, Arnie didn't end that with a question mark there. So Pims Vans Ols says, "What will you enjoy the most in FIFA 13?" For me, it's gonna have to be the seasons for Ultimate Team. I really think it's going to change the game for the better a lot. It's going to eradicate a lot of the issues people have online with Ultimate Team. I know a lot of people are actually quite annoyed that there's going to be no more head-to-head play on Ultimate Team. But I think it's better because you're going to get matched up against people determined by your record. So if you've got a really bad record, you're going to come up against other people with really bad records, which is going to improve your chances of playing. Now, people think, you know, cherry picking opponents is one thing, but like you can come up against someone with 80 chemistry and an average team who's just an absolute beast at FIFA and still destroy you, whereas you can come up against someone with a 100 chemistry team with an awesome team who's rubbish at FIFA, but you don't know because you don't know their records. And now the matchmaking is going to be done heavily on records. I think it will benefit everybody involved because you're always going to be playing people on your own kind of level, which is the fairest way to do it. Next question, we've got Liverpool or Man United. For me, it'd be Man United. And one thing that I'm going to get asked a lot, and I can already see like several questions about it, how do I feel about Van Persie leaving? And how do I feel about him leaving to Manchester United? Now, I don't have any problems with him leaving, the same manner that I didn't have any problems with Nasri leaving or Fabregas leaving. You know, all of those players, if they don't want to play for the club, we don't want them to play for the club. Now, don't get me wrong, Van Persie was an amazing player for Arsenal, and he will be an amazing player for United. But if his heart's not in it, then his heart's not in it. You know, if he wants to go somewhere where he thinks he can win trophies, and I say thinks because, you know, it's a long season and nobody knows what's going to happen, then he's got to make that decision on himself and leave. It would have been better for me, for any Arsenal fan, if he'd left the Premier League. But at the same time, if he does fail at United, it will be better that he didn't leave the Premier League, which is a really horrible way to look at it. I hope he doesn't fail. I wish him the best. Like I say, he gave 8 good years to Arsenal. But I will say, I do think Wenger did a fantastic piece of business with Van Persie. You know, he's 29 years old. He's an injury-prone striker. Up until last season, he didn't even really play striker either. Like, you know, he plays centre forwards or like maybe a little bit deeper. So 24 million for a guy that openly expressed he wanted to leave the club, had 1 year left on his contract, and is 29 years old and injury-prone. 24 million? Are you kidding me? Like, that's a huge amount of money. I would have been happy with like 15 million, you know, because it just, everything points to him wanting to leave the club. But I think Wenger did the right thing in kind of forcing him to, not forcing him, in forcing clubs to give Wenger a bigger amount of money, which was awesome. There was somebody tweeted me, several people tweeted me yesterday or the day before, that Arsenal have spent like 42 million on all the players we've bought in that we've sold over the last 5 years, and we've recouped like 260 million from it. That's great business no matter which way you look at it, and we're still managing to stay in the top 4. So from an Arsenal point of view, if we can get in the top 4 again this season, if we can win a cup, like FA Cup, League Cup, I don't care what it is, you know, the St Johnstone's Paint Trophy Cup, then Arsenal will change. But if we don't win a cup and if we don't finish in the top 4, then, you know, our better players will leave again and again and again, and eventually we'll just become, you know, a West Ham of like 10 years ago or so, where West Ham were a good team, not a great team, but they produced very good players that went on to play for England, Chelsea, Liverpool, United. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just went everywhere. So I don't ever want to become that sort of club. Next question we've got is, it's funny how that turned from a Liverpool or Man United question to me talking about Arsenal. What is my favourite drink? My favourite drink is Dr Pepper. Evan Mills says, who do you think will finish top 4 and get relegated? I don't really want to talk about relegation because it's never easy with relegation. It's a lot easier with the top 4. Not so easy the last sort of 4 or 5 years, but I definitely think both Manchester clubs will be there again. I do think Arsenal will be there. And then this season, I think is going to be, the 4th spot will be between Newcastle, Chelsea and Swansea. Now, people are going to be like, what the fuck, Swansea? But you saw their display the first game of the season. It was incredible. They've strengthened their team from last year, and last year they had a good season. Considering they'd just come up from the Championship, their players have now got a year's worth of experience under their belt. They know what to expect. They're looking strong. They're looking good. They've got a lot of young, good players. I think they're just going to progress every single season, and I really think Swansea are going to have an awesome season. I think they're going to be a wild card this year, and I tip them to get into the top 6, maybe the top 4, you know, depending on other results. But I think as a dead cert, I think Arsenal will get there, Man United and Man City. Don't think Liverpool are going to be involved. You know, their team just isn't too great anymore. They lose 3-0 to West Brom. You know, you can't really get away from that fact. I know Arsenal drew with Sunderland, and City struggled to beat Southampton, but when it comes to Liverpool, they're in this position right now where they just constantly drop points to these lower teams. You know, Liverpool will probably come and beat Arsenal, and they'll probably demolish them like 4-1 or something. But then the next game, they'll go and lose like 3-0 to Southampton or something, and it'll just be like they're super inconsistent, and they need to. They need like a whole team change. They don't need to keep buying a new centre midfielder every year and hoping that it's going to be the next Steven Gerrard, because that's not the way that football works. Next question we've got. That's not really a very good question. That's one of those. Which of the transfers will have the most impact? It's interesting. It's real hard to say, you know. You just don't know how people are going to react. I think Lukaku is going to be huge. Like, he's already scored in his debut. He's going to be awesome. Is it Miyashi? Who scored like 2 goals for Swansea. I think he's going to be huge. I probably didn't score 2 goals for Swansea, and I've just like made a stupid, embarrassing comment, but whatever. But you know, Kagawa is going to be an incredible signing. I'm really looking forward to seeing Oscar play for Chelsea, because I like him a lot. I liked him when he played in Liga do Brazil, and I like him now. And although I'm not hugely fond of Chelsea as a football club, they're one of my favourite football clubs in the Premiership. But you know, the fact that they won the Champions League and we've never won the Champions League is a little bit annoying. But yeah, I really like Oscar, so I want to see how well he does. I really hope he plays really well for the season. Next question we got. Would you rather have your penis shaped like a thumb or a thumb shaped like a penis? Well, I'd rather have a thumb shaped like a... Wait, I'm not thinking this through. Penis shaped like a thumb. Yeah, I'd probably have my penis shaped like a thumb than my thumb shaped like a penis. Because imagine if you got a thumb shaped like a penis and you suck your thumb. That would just look weird. So, who will be the top scorer this season? It won't be anyone from Arsenal, that's for sure. I think it'll be someone like Van Persie or Torres. They're like the only people coming to mind right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go with either Van Persie or Torres. How did you rapidly improve your subscriber base to get 78,000 subscribers? Well, unfortunately, I'm not quite at 78,000 yet. I'm only at like 71,000, but thank you. And I did it by networking. As apparently bad that is in the community. Networking is awesome. Networking gets you places in life, and it gets you places in anything you do. You know, like networking, you meet people networking, and nice people are nice and they do shit for you, you know, and you get that through networking. And I don't know anyone that sits there and thinks that by networking you're actually selling out and not doing things yourself is ludicrous. They're mental, you know. The amount of people that I've met on the internet through FIFA and through YouTube who are awesome people is crazy. Like I've explained this once before in a video, and I'll explain it again, but the people that you meet at school and at college and at university are your friends because you have to make friends. Do you know what I mean? And that in a sense is networking too, but you don't necessarily have things in common with them. Like with my best friend, who I've known since I was like 10, we don't really have too much in common. We both like football, we both like video games, we both like girls, we both like music. They're, you know, 4 common things that we've got in common. But in terms of like the style of music, we don't necessarily like the same shit. He drinks, I don't drink. You know, he'd rather go out to like I don't know, some kind of what's the word, festival. I don't like festivals. Do you know what I mean? But we're still best friends, and we're friends because we were kind of like put there together rather than we had so much in common. But when you meet people on the internet, you meet people that you have things in common with, like KSI, Calfreezy, Miss Black Ops. All these people, you know, Fearcrads, Oakelfish, all these people have so much in common with, which is why I get on so well with them, which is why they become good friends, and you do that through networking. So the way I improved my subscriber base is mainly through networking. But one thing that people misunderstand is this: if you network and you've got a good product, people will buy into your product, and they will, you know, you will get dividends from that. And in my way of like showing that is, I think I make good FIFA videos, I think I'm entertaining. Whether or not I am is up to you to decide, and that depends on whether or not you click the subscribe button. And maybe networking gets you to view my channel, but that doesn't get you to buy my product, you know. So I still made what I've got by myself. You know, I just maybe had help by people viewing my channel. But that's not really by likes and shout outs. That's just by being friendly and being nice and being a face of the community and being around. So for any young channel, any new channel, and I've said this on Foreplay once before as well, the easiest and the best way to gain subscribers is to network, but you have to have a product that they want to buy once they find your channel. So if they go to you and they don't like you, and they don't like your commentary, or they don't like your voice, or they don't like your gameplay, they're not going to hit subscribe, and you're going to get a few boost of views, but you won't get any subscribers, and that'll be that. And that's just kind of how it works. And that's pretty much all I've got to say on that matter. So next question: best new feature of FIFA 13. For me, there's two features that I would put equally as the best. Number one is the first touch control, because this is going to change the game hugely. The amount of times I fucked up and didn't score or conceded because of first touch control whilst I was playing FIFA 13 was outrageous. And it's so true to real life. It does get a little, not frustrating, but a little bit like, ah, fuck, you know. But then it happens in real life a lot, so you got to expect it in FIFA. The first touch is huge. Silver, bronze teams are going to be real tough to use. You're going to really have to pick your players well, and like players with super pace and 5-star skills, but that have bad technique, bad ball control, bad passing, they're not going to be useful to you. Like in a playing sense, they might be useful if you stick them as a striker and just keep lobbing through balls through to them. You know, you might get on the end of one every now and then, but in general, they're not going to be too useful to you. People with good ball control, good passing, good technique, they're going to be the key players in FIFA 13. So, you know, genuinely players like Yaya Toure, like Pirlo, like Iniesta, Xavi, Xavi Alonso, these players are going to be huge players in FIFA 13. So that's one thing that I think is the best new feature. The other new feature that I really, really love is the fact that the skill dribble, or the air dribble, whatever you want to call it, has been removed from the game. So it was heavily abused in FIFA 12, especially in like competitive gaming. If you look at FIFA Interactive World Cup, they just abused that time and time again. That's been removed now. When you hold triggers instead, the back triggers, LT, RT or R2, L2, you go into I think it's called complete dribble. Now, imagine if you're standing still and you hold the L2 button or the LT button and you do a drag back, but you have to be standing still to do that drag back. Now, if you hold both triggers at the same time, you've got the ball like that all the time. So you can do drag backs, you can, you know, dodge tackles, switch the play, like switch your body across the ball to shield it. It gives you so much more control over the ball and over the flow of the play. If you master it, you will be very, very good at FIFA. So they're the best two things that I'm going to be enjoying for FIFA. So already well over 15 minutes now, guys. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions and then we will leave it there. But I've got a hell of a lot of questions, guys. I'm looking at Twitter and there's like 150 new interactions as well. And I'm not going to have time to answer all of those. So I might do another one of these in a couple of days. Or if this gets, let's say, 2,000 likes by 10 o'clock, I'll put up a late night video log and answer some more questions tonight. So the next question we've got, how far can you throw a frisbee? I don't really know. I haven't really played frisbee or thrown a frisbee since I was like 10 and 11 years old, and I used to go to Regent's Park with my family, so I probably couldn't throw it too far. I'm not really good at throwing frisbees. It's Perfect says, have you ever considered leaving London and moving to somewhere such as the countryside? Not really. I've considered moving further into London again. I used to live like right in the centre of London, but I moved out just so I could buy a house. And yeah, I'd like to live closer to London just because it's where it all happens. But eventually, of course, I'd like a nice big house somewhere away from London with, you know, big gates and shit and all that kind of fancy stuff. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not really looking to move out of London. Next question we've got. These are like, I'm skipping some questions, guys, because they're very similar to ones I've already answered, or questions I simply don't want to answer about a subject that you pretty much know what's going on with. Here's an interesting question and something that I touched on yesterday. So Jack says, what new series are you going to do when FIFA 13 comes out? Now, I'm obviously not going to sit here and tell you right now because I've got a lot of very unique and very fresh ideas for FIFA 13, which I don't want to talk about because people can steal them, and you know, obviously I want to be the first doing my own ideas. But I have got so many ideas, and yesterday I put on Twitter, like, got so many ideas for FIFA, not just FIFA 13 but for FIFA in general. But there's no point me doing it now because nobody watches FIFA 12. I say nobody, like you know, the amount of people that watch my videos now compared to a month ago, even though I've gained like 10,000 subscribers since then, is probably half. So you know, it just shows FIFA 12 really isn't the thing to watch right now. So there's no point me doing these things. But I've got a lot of good ideas. Definitely 2 or 3 series that you guys would have never seen anywhere. I've also got a few things that I'm going to be continuing on from FIFA 12 and putting into FIFA 13, but with changes and making them a little bit fresher and a little bit more interesting, and just to try and keep them alive a little bit. And yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to FIFA 13. I genuinely can't wait. So I'm going to answer one more question, guys. I'm going to skip up and just find a random one. So we got... let me open up the new interactions and just go halfway down and find one of them bad boys. Right, there we go. We'll go from there. Would you rather go wild or rage? There is a difference, by the way. I rage quite a lot. I don't think that's hard to understand. You know, everyone rages at FIFA. If you say you don't rage at FIFA, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to anyone that you tell you don't rage. Everyone gets mad at FIFA. This game is frustrating as hell at times, and I get as mad as anyone. The difference is you see when I get mad. So you know, I blame shit when I lose, no doubt about it. Sometimes I hold my hands up and I'm like, yeah, fuck, he was better. But more often than not, I just blame anything and everything I can, and that's just human nature, you know. Nobody really likes to take responsibility and accept the fact that they fail, and failing is not something I like to do. And whether it's losing a game of FIFA, which you might think, fuck man, if you think you're failing because you're losing a game of FIFA, then you know, I don't really see where the point's going. But bottom line is, I hate losing, and I will blame shit if I lose, even though I know and you know that I lost because the person was better than me. So yeah, I prefer to rage than go wild, because if I went wild, I probably wouldn't. You know, going wild is kind of like, just imagine if I had like fucking piercings everywhere and tattoos all over my face and left a mohawk down the middle of my head and dressed in gothic clothes and started jumping off buildings pretending like a fly. That's going wild, so I'd much prefer to rage. So I'm going to end it here, guys. We're getting way later than I wanted this this video to go. But thank you all very much for watching. If you could hit that like button, it would be amazing. Like I say, if we get to 2,000 likes by like 10 o'clock, I will upload another one tonight, guys. But yeah, thanks all very much for watching. If you've got any questions that you really want answered, put them in big capital letters in the comment section below. But thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Trade.